Alright guys, welcome to another episode of ESPN de OCHO, week number 3. We're going to go on and get into it, but first, a little bit of recap of what kind of happened and what, has been kind of going on. It's been a lot of crazy injuries this past weeks. It's fucking crazy. I mean, I'm nervous having to play my starters right now because people are getting hurt. And not only that, a lot of kickers missed a lot of fucking kicks last week too. It's getting fucking ridiculous. But we saw that, last year and the year before that where a lot of kickers are missing shit. And we're also getting kind of separating from the teams that are kind of being a little bit more on the elite side to the teams that are getting a little bit on the bad side. And I'm going to name a few right now. Emery, Marcos, Joe. They're kind of separating from everyone else. They're 0-2 right now. And it's not looking too good for them as far as the future goes because of injuries and because of just time implications for them and their squad all in general. And not only that, but I told you guys the waiver wire was going to be crazy as we saw. The big spender of the week right now is Joe. Already has about $121 in his bank account right now because he's spending so much money. But I guess he's revamping. He's really revamping, I guess. So we're going to go on and get into it right now with the first matchup right now, Gabe versus Oscar. And this is a good matchup to start off with. This is a powerhouse matchup right now. I love both quarterbacks, but let me start off with Gabe right now with the number 2 quarterback in fantasy right now, Dak Prescott, going up against Miami, and he also has Zeke to back him up there with him. So holy shit, I'm expecting huge points from him. Marlon Mack is a clear must start. Plus I love the matchup also with Ty. I mean, it's at home for them versus Atlanta. Atlanta isn't a defense that scares me one bit. I think Sammy Watkins is the biggest question mark of his team right now, which is not bad. I do expect that game to be kind of a slow shootout because, I mean, it's Mahomes, and Baltimore's defense is no joke, without a doubt, but we'll see. Fournette looks nice, but Tennessee is not a bad defense at all. I mean, they're pretty decent as far as the run game, and their corners and DBs and safeties and everything are pretty good too. So it'll be pretty tough. Plus they're playing with a backup quarterback, but the backup quarterback doesn't look bad at all. The Bears defense I love against Washington. Washington looks like a total joke. We're gonna flip it on right now to Oscar's side. Lamar Jackson looking really, really good. Going up against KC, like I said, slow shootout. I'm projecting right there. Barkley's obviously a must start. Nick Chubb a bit worried right now. The Rams did pretty good against Kamara. I understand Breeze got hurt, but Baker Mayfield's not been looking totally great, and neither has Chubb all that much. But I don't know why he's projected so much when the Rams are a pretty good defense, but they might be without Aaron Donald, so that might kind of help him out a little bit, but we'll see. I love the wide receivers Oscar's having with Diggs, Lockett, and yeah, that's it right now. But I love that matchup right now. Oakland, I think they're being overrated right now. They lost their best safety. They lost one of their best cornerbacks too. So I love the matchup with Diggs and Lockett against New Orleans also as well. Ingram's obviously a clear-cut start. Kerryon Johnson, he's kind of looking like a boom-bust type of guy. He had one great game last week, but Philly is going to play tough at home. They understand that Carson Wentz is getting hit too much. They understand that the star wide receivers are not going to play for at least 2 weeks. So they got to fucking think of something, and I think they will. Plus the Lions don't play all that great on the way. Who do I got winning here? I'm going with Gabe. And the matchups are just too great. I mean, you want to start up any player, the fucking water boy, the practice squad, the backup quarterbacks, anybody in Cowboys right now against Miami. Miami's a total joke. So, Gabe, you're going to go on and get the W, my friend. I hope you feel good about that. Next matchup we're going into right now is Mondo Corp versus E-Rod 90. And I guess 90's a good name for that because Emery's struggling to pass over 90 points per game. And we're going to look at Mondo's starters right now. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, his best player of the team right now, which is, not bad to say, but it's obvious, you know what I mean? Tough matchup against Baltimore. It's at home, though, but it's still a tough matchup without a doubt. Breida gets the start. It looks nice. I think kind of people are sleeping on Breida, but Musfert is also kind of stealing some value right there. But I think they'll be okay. Damian Williams, I do not expect them to play. I think the injury is kind of serious in what it is, and not only that, McCoy is kind of hurt too. So if Marcos has a clear chance to maybe start the rookie running back that he picked up that I tried to get. So yeah, Christian Kirk is kind of suspect, but he's been there and the production's been there too. A lot of targets, pretty well with that rookie quarterback. So I think he'll be okay against Carolina's suspect as defense. Plus Cam Newton can't. I mean, he's not looking good, and the defense is just on the field way too much. So I think they're gonna be okay. The game is in Arizona. It is in Arizona, so they'll be playing a lot better than than what they have done in the past. Galloway is a clear must start. Obviously, Kettle as well. Hardman, who the fuck is McCoy Hardman? I mean, I think Mondo's starting to fucking make-believe players right now because he gave him one good game against Oakland. I get it's a division game, but this is Baltimore, honey, so I don't know. I don't fucking see it. If you look at his bench is a joke right now. Coleman hurt. Singletary's not going to play, I'm sure. Hill is hurt. And some guy named Robertson from the Chiefs also as well. I mean, I get it. You want to stack up on the Chiefs, but I don't know. I mean, these players that you don't even know of are boom or bust. So believe that shit right now. You look at Emery's side real quick right now. Oh, and sorry, the Ravens defense is a bit of a question mark right now too. Like I said, KC, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love it at all. So Jared Goff with Emery. I mean, you said you were gonna drop him, but I guess he put up some late value at the end. Cleveland is a team that he can definitely score on, but they're a bit of a tricky defense. The defense is not a joke at all. They're a bit overhyped, but the defense is good. Yes, they're good. The running backs are suspect as shit. Philip Lindsay has not given you a good game. Penny has but got one good game last week. I get it's New Orleans, but I don't know. It's too many question marks for me. The wide receivers are set, I think, with OBJ, Cooks. I think even Olsen's a good start, too, because Cam Newton can't throw it far, and Greg Olsen's proven that he's kind of can get healthy, even though he came up from a bloody nose last week and everything. So I think he's okay. And you got to start DJ Clark at this point, right? I mean, he's giving you clear-cut points. A lot of points that you left off on the bench these last 2 weeks. He's the number 5 wide receiver in fantasy right now, so why the fuck not? You're starting a kicker named Joey Slade from the Panthers. I don't even know who that is, but I mean, I hope so. And you look at your bench, it's not too good. I'll maybe start Miles Sanders because I definitely think they might start running the ball, but I don't know. It's up to you. And Juju, benching Juju's got to hurt you a little bit, Emery. I know it does. But I think with Juju, I think you drafted him too high to not start him. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a weird matchup. But Mondo, I'm giving you that W right now, bro, because Emery is just not giving me any type of functionalities to make me want to believe that he can win this game. It's tough. It's really tough right now. Mondo going in there winning, bitch ass nigga. Whatever. Let's just get mine out the way. Me versus Joe. And we're going to go on and get to this. I'm obviously 2-0. Joe's 0-2. He hasn't won a game. It's a bit of a rough start for Joe right now. We're going to go on to my side right now. Carson Wentz, I'm a little worried. Obviously, he doesn't have his receivers. He doesn't have his star backup tight end. But you do have Ertz there. You do have Aguilar. And I guess you have some other guys. We drafted high on the wide receiver, so let's find out what the fuck he can do. He's getting it. They didn't even practice today because they're saying that's how hurt everyone is. So I'm a little bit worried. But it's a home game, so we'll see. I think Joe Mixon, I'm placing Joe Mixon as my starter right now. He's angry as fuck. He's blaming himself for that he hasn't been, that the team hasn't been winning. Playing the Bills defense that I understand is underrated and pretty good against the run, but they're not going to be blown out like they were with the 49ers. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think Joe Mixon's going to get at least a touchdown in this game. I think he slaps out of it, give me some better points this week. Dalvin Cook, for some reason, they're saying Dalvin Cook's a must start either way. He's the number 2 running back in fantasy. Thank you, Gabe. But he's a must start against Oakland. I love him against Oakland. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Calvin Ridley are both clear starts. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. I think this is the first game Mike Evans explodes and gives me his best game of the season so far. And Calvin Ridley's just everything that I thought he was going to be. Plus, like I said, they're playing a lot of dome games, so why the fuck not? And Godwin, oh my God, Godwin I think is the number 9 wide receiver listed right now in fantasy, so he's looking really nice. Delaney Walker gets the start, of course, every time. He still leads the team in targets, so why not? I think my kicker bounces back. And I love my defense against the Raiders. The defense at Minnesota, oh my God, against the Raiders, I don't know. I just think it's going to be bomb. I expect maybe top 5 defense in fantasy points this week. We look at Joe on the other hand right now. Joe, bit of a tricky situation. Like I said, he wasted a lot of money in the waiver wire this week. But Phillip Rivers looks pretty good. Todd Gurley is a little bit suspect right now. Like I said, they're giving him the snap count. He's not getting a lot of production right now, but he's giving you some pretty decent fantasy points, so why not? Josh Jacobs, I don't think he's going to play. He's dealing with a groin injury. They haven't really updated anything yet, but I do not see him starting right now. He's a rookie running back. I don't think it's going to happen. If it does happen, I don't expect much. Minnesota's a real talented defense. Julio Jones, Robert Woods gets the clear start. I love Vance McDonald as a tight end this week. The backup quarterback is a pretty veteran backup quarterback to that team, so I think he'll be really good. Frank Gore, too many question marks. Plus, I think this is a game TJ Yeldon gets way more involved with Singletary out of the game, so I don't like Frank Gore, but I don't love it, so that's just the situation. The Bills defense, I hope he does play it because I do see Andy Dalton throwing the ball more, and like I said, Joe Mixon getting in it a lot more. Who do I got getting the W? Of course, I'm going with me, undefeated versus no wins on the board. That's just kind of a clear cut that you got to go with. I'm giving myself the W, hopefully going undefeated still. Next matchup right now, we're going with Jay, the wannabe Slay, against Louis, getting it from the booty because he's 0-2 right now. And Jay being 1-1, I mean, we're going to look at the matchups right now. Jay lost his quarterback right now with Drew Brees and playing Kyle Murray right now. I think he'll be okay. He's been looking pretty good. McCaffrey and Ingram are clear must-starts. Michael Thomas and Cooper are clear must-starts. Plus the matchups for Cooper is delicious right now against Miami because MIA, nowhere to be seen. Didsley from the tight end from the Seahawks. Literally one great game last week, and Jay believes. He's just going in, dipping in, he believes. Landry, clear flex. You don't really have no one on the bench to play. Maybe Barber, but you don't feel confident playing that. So I guess you feel better playing Landry. And you look at Louis' side on the other hand. You look at the defense. You love the Patriots' defense against the Jets. They're playing a backup quarterback. He didn't look Falk. I think it's Luke Falk. Didn't look too bad, but it's a backup. It's in New England. It's a beatdown. One of those top 5 defensive points for fantasy right now. Look at the other side for Louis. Jimmy Garoppolo, very underrated quarterback. Plus, they're proving that they can run the ball better, they can throw the ball better, and they're playing better defense. So they're overall kind of changing their shit right now. And they're kind of showing that they don't need Tevin Coleman right now because they have any running back that can produce. James Conner, Sony Michel, Pope get the obvious clear must start. Adam Thielen, Cooper Kupp, clear must starts. I think they'll be okay. The one with the question marks right now is T. Williams from, Tyrell Williams from Oakland, and D. Waller, the tight end from Oakland. I mean, it's Minnesota. It's at home in Minnesota. No doubt they're going to be playing behind. So I think PPR-wise, I think they'll be okay, but don't get too excited on them, of course. Greg Zuerlein and the 49ers defense I like against Pittsburgh. I do actually like it because it's at San Francisco, so why the fuck not? Who do I got winning this game? I got to go with Jay. Louis hasn't won a game, and Jay's won one. Plus, he's got some pretty nice matchups on the board, so why not give it to Jay? Jay getting another W this week. We're going to go on to our next matchup right now. It is Marcos 0-2 versus Turo 2-0. And I fucked up already. I'm choosing Turo right now because why not? His team doesn't look too bad. Marcos' team looks really bad. Let's start off with Marcos. Baker Mayfield, too many questions. He's not been proven. They got too overhyped. That's the problem with getting hyped. Duke Johnson's looking like a total fucking bust. Burkhead, too many question marks, too many running backs in that field. The wide receivers are a clear must start with Hopkins and Keenan Allen. That's it. I mean, this is the first game that I feel Zach Ertz will have that is his first huge game right now because they need him. He cried a lot. I mean, he cried a little bit when they lost. He blames the loss on himself because he didn't set himself right. So I think he'll be okay. Metcalf looking really, really nice. So I think the wide receiver group is really good. I love that Packers defense that you have there, Marcos. But I don't think it's going to be enough. So I'm saying right now, Tua's going to get the W. You look at his team, Matt Ryan. You got to play him inside any dome he's playing. Both running backs look good with Johnson and Henry. Tyler Boyd, he's going to get his catches. The Bills have been playing teams that can't throw the ball, the Jets and the New York Giants. So Why the fuck not? Edelman's a clear must start against the Jets. O.J. Howard bounces back because it's the New York Giants, and the New York Giants can't stop anybody. Antonio Brown gets the clear start. It's the New York Jets. He only played 33% of snaps last week. Imagine if he plays 80%. I see the value there. So, Turo, you get into easy W, I think, this week, buddy. So, congratulations. Congratulations. Going on to matchup of the week, guys, is Josh, the Archive, versus Rich, Youngblood, but he's 2-0 versus 1-1. Now, there's been a lot of shit talking about these two guys. There's been a lot of, tension between these guys. One saying he's the Archive, one saying he needs proof. So we'll see what will go on. We're going to go on to Aaron Rodgers on Josh's side. Clear-cut quarterback number 1. Carson, I like the matchup, but I don't love it. He fumbled twice. Plus, he gave up a huge gain for Penny to get the touchdown, so he kind of lost some vulture value right there. I think this is the first game Devontae Freeman has a big game, so I think he'll be okay. Devontae Adams is a clear must starter. DJ Moore is a clear must starter. Kelsey is a clear starter. Allen Robinson's the only one. He's obviously boomer bust, and it's not because of his talent. It's just Trubisky can't really throw the ball that well. So I think that's the problem right there. But you might get the number 1 defense as far as fantasy goes. The Cowboys against against Miami at home in Dallas. So holy fuck, I think it's the number 1 defense right now. Now you look at Richard's side. Tom Brady against the Jets. I love it, but I think they're going to run the ball later down in the field just because it's the Jets. They're going to be down. Kamara, I think it might affect his points, but Teddy Bridgewater is the highest paid backup quarterback in the league, so he's going to get familiar, and he's not a bad quarterback, so I think Kamara gets his points either way. Jones as well. Randall Cobb, I'm surprised nobody picked up Randall Cobb. They're playing Miami. You want to start anybody from Dallas Cowboys against Miami. It's Miami. Oh my God. I'm surprised nobody fucking picked them up. It's crazy. Whatever. That's a huge pickup for Rich. I mean, it's crazy. Emmanuel Sanders, you got to start him. You don't love the matchup, but you got to start him. The number one tight end in fantasy, Mark Andrews gets the start. You like him no matter what. Eckler, number 1 fantasy running back right now. He gets the start. You like it. And the Bucs defense against the Giants. I love that pickup. I really do. Who do I got winning this game? Believe me, it's a toss-up right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way, but I got to go with Rich. And the reason, too, is because he's 2-0. He's undefeated. Josh is 1-1. I get it. He's hungry, but I got to go with Rich, man. It's just the matchups are too good. Look out for these guys playing on fantasy. It's going to be a high-scoring game for both. But, Rich, I do expect you to still go undefeated. We'll see how it goes. Guys, that wraps it up for week 3. We're kind of moving it along. It's week 3 already, and yet I feel like football started like last week. So it's crazy. We're having a lot of fun. A lot of injuries so far. It's crazy year so far, guys. So we'll see. Good luck to everybody except Mondo and Joe this week. So good luck.